Hello, one and all, and welcome. It's me, Wolfstar Gaming, Anton Savetin, and yes, face reveal. I have been thinking of adding a face cam to my LPs, and I figured now would be the best time to do it because it's now been a year since I started LPing. So I got myself a webcam and a tripod, and I knew I would need a tripod because of how odd my setup is, because I use my TV as my monitor. So this has just made it a little more interesting, to say the least, of adding this into the mix. And, you know, a year ago when I started doing this, Facecam wasn't really on my mind, but over time, I had been thinking about doing it. Over time, I had been thinking about adding it, and you know, for months now it's been in the back of my mind, so I decided to incorporate it. And you know, with it now being a year, it's like, why not add in a new element? So from here going forward, I am going to start having my LPs having Facecam. So I know that may be a little odd, especially since I have, Robotics Notes Elite as already an ongoing LP. But, I figured, why not? I mean, it's just another added element to the LP. So come this next week, I'll have that now implemented. And with with using my TV as my monitor, my placement of the camera needs to be in a very specific spot, because if I just leave it in front of my face like this, the camera will just kind of be in my way. So I'm going to have it moved over a little to my right in order for it to not be in my way. So I was doing some test recordings a couple of weeks ago, and trying to figure out where I wanted to set things and everything. And I actually have those clips for you right now. I think this is about where I want the camera. It's a little compact right here. I mean, I have my camera right here, my laptop right here, and then my microphone. So, yeah, it's an odd setup to begin with, and I knew it would become even a little more odd with adding Facecam to the mix. I don't know if I should be, maybe here. Let me try this. Bring the microphone up closer to my mouth. I mean, it's like, how does this even look? It's like my microphone's right in front of my face. Question is now, where do I want to put me? Put myself right in the middle of the screen. Could put myself there. I know people tend to put themselves like in one corner of the screen. I know Jared, from the Gamers Joint, will put himself like right, kind of like in the middle of the screen, but on the left side, which is an interesting choice. I've never seen anyone else do that. So, how do I want mine to be? And like, how big, how small do I want it? Let's see here. Don't want it too big. Then again, I don't want it to be too small either. It's like I want people to be able to see me alright. I mean, one of the things I would like, that I was thinking of doing is, you know, starting off like this with a wide, with a full view of me at first, and then make myself smaller as I go here. And then, you know, adjust it as need be for, like, whatever game I'm playing. I could go the green screen route. It would be a lot easier to do it like this, though, with no green screen. And just, you know, it may look a little weird, but it may look a little weird with the background being, you know, part of my kitchen, but it's just the nature of my house. Alright, so with all that test footage that I just showed you, you know, I would love like any feedback, any tips of how my face cam, with adding face cam, of how it should look or feel. You know, I mean, this is a new element for me, so I would love any feedback about it at all. I like to learn new things, so with adding the face cam, you know, it's going... That was my watch. So with this now being a factor into my LPs now, I want this to look good. So with any tips and tricks of adding a face cam, you know, I will welcome all of that kind of feedback. You know, and you know, I've gone into OBS and, you know, tweaked the video filters, you know, tweak it to where, you know, I think it looks good to me, but, you know, I would love any of your guys' opinions on how this looks. I don't really know how webcam works. I've never used it before, so this is brand new to me, but, you know, I welcome any sort of challenge that's thrown in my way. So it's going to be a learning curve, I think, for a little bit, for how it should look in particular. I think with adding Facecam, it will benefit to my LPs more, because I can, you know, not only vocally react, I can also, you know, visually react, you know, with my face, hence Facecam, you know. So I want this to be an element that will be, you know, engaging, and I'm gonna try my best at to make it engaging. So I really want this to work well, and I hope it does work well. With me LPing, you know, I have only been LPing robotics notes. And I think that will work a lot better for me with focusing on just LPing one game at a time. So my thought process is to LP Robotics Notes Elite at least twice a week for the time being. So I've been thinking about this. I've been thinking of getting a video out on Wednesdays and Sundays. That may change at some point. There may be some flexibility with that. A year ago when I first started LPing, I didn't know what I was doing. I've learned a lot since then, for sure. I mean, I was using this old Logitech microphone because I didn't have this Blue Yeti microphone. So for a number of videos, I was just using this little guy, and this is quite an old microphone at this point. I mean, I got this, oh god, how long ago did I get it? I want to say like probably about 2010, I want to say. I mean, I can't really remember, but I want to say it was around that long ago. I mean, for what it is, my LPs starting off, it is what it is because of me using this microphone. And I should have waited until I should have waited until I had gotten my Blue Yeti, but I was just too excited to start doing this. So, and thinking about it, I really should have waited, but it's in the past now. I've learned from my mistakes, and I will continue to learn. And I really want my LPs to have as good as quality as possible, as well as I can anyway, with just using a simple Mac laptop. I mean, I don't have a gaming computer, and I can't really afford one. So for the time being, I have to use my Mac laptop. And I actually had gotten my laptop with LPing in mind, actually. So it's capable of what it needs to do for my LPs, but I'm certain that somewhere along down the line my lifespan on my computer is gonna start to dwindle, and I'm gonna need to get a new computer. Hopefully my laptop can hold out until I do have enough money to get a gaming computer. That said, it's like, first I need to save up the money to get one. So I have a lot of games that I want to LP for you guys. And for anyone watching this video who hasn't seen my LPs, by all means, check them out. Tell me what you think. I have I have a large number of games in my backlog. Excuse me. And I figured, with LPing that would be a good way to take care of a lot of games that are in my backlog. So, right now I'm doing Robotics Notes Elite. Once I'm actually done with Robotics Notes Elite, we'll be hopping right into Robotics Notes Dash, the sequel. And then after that, I'm not entirely sure what game to LP, really. I mean, I haven't really thought that far ahead. But, I have a few ideas. I might do like a poll for you guys to chime in on what game I should LP. I mean, I have a few in mind, so with having a poll on what game to play, I figured that would be a good way to have your guys' input of what game I should LP. So, and I want to try and make this as interactive as possible. I mean, I know I haven't been very vocal in my. I know I haven't been very vocal with interacting with my viewers, but I figured that with now adding Facecam, that will help in doing that. So I hope you all really enjoy this new addition to my videos. So I think that's everything that I wanted to really talk about. I believe so. Oh, I almost forgot. I did want to mention, I haven't gotten a PS5 yet, but I did get myself a Nintendo Switch more recently. I managed to pay for one using Quad Pay on the GameStop website. And doing it that way was much more affordable for me. So with Quad Pay, you can pay it in 4 installments over the course of 6 weeks. So, and the Switch is what was it, like $300 if I remember correctly. So over the course of 6 weeks, I paid around $70. I think it was actually $75 every 2 weeks. So I'm glad I finally managed to get a Switch so I can LP games on that as well. And I do have other Nintendo games as well. I do have a Nintendo DS XL. Unfortunately, though, I don't have a game capture card for it. I did find out a while back that Katsu Kitty, who makes a lot of those capture cards for the Nintendo DS systems, went out of business, so I can't LP games using a capture card, but I did discover a workaround with that. And I'm gonna have to play with that workaround first before I try LPing a game on my Nintendo DS XL. So somewhere down the line, there's a lot of games that I really want to LP on the DS. I recently did a lot of upgrading with my gaming. I had gotten myself a new 65-inch crystal UHD 4K display TV. So with getting a new television, I wound up getting adapters for my older systems so I could play my games on my new TV. So I had gotten it. I had getting a little tongue tied as I tend to do. I had gotten an adapter for my PS2 and for my Wii. And you may be thinking, Wii? Yes, I managed to find on Amazon a Wii to HDMI adapter, as well as a PS2 to HDMI adapter, and they work like a charm. I'd also gotten an HDMI splitter to bypass the HDCP on my PS TV, because there's no way to turn that off on on a PS TV. So I got that, and I also found out that it also works with a PS3 as well. So let's see. As far as retro gaming, I am of an older generation of a gamer. So I'm gonna be turning 38 that next month. So I still have my Sega Genesis, but I don't have it hooked up to my television. A number of years back, I had gotten a Retron 3, to play my old Genesis games. So for the longest time, I didn't have my Sega Genesis because I thought I had lost it. And a couple or so years ago, my dad found it in the basement of my old house. So he got that back to me, and while I was really glad to get that back, during that time that I didn't have it, I had got myself a Retron 3. And I upgraded again to a Retron 5. So not only can I play my old Genesis games with the Retron 5, I can also play the NES, SNES, Famicom, GBA, Color GBA, GBA, GBA Color. I believe I already said that. Yeah. So you can play a whole slew of old games on the Retron 5, and I do want to get more back into retro gaming, because that's where my gaming started. Because my Sega Genesis was my very first console. So, and that was, boy, that was back when I turned 10 years old. Yeah, I had gotten it for my 10th birthday, as I remember. And while I did game a fair bit, I didn't game a ton when I was growing up. And for me, it was Sega, for the most part, I never got a PS1 or a NES system. I did get a Sega Dreamcast, so I have a couple of games on that. But as for, more of the more, that's good. As for the more current consoles, I have, I have a PS, I also have a PS3 and of course PS4. So it's like I mostly have PlayStation systems, but I want to bring you more into my world of gaming, on all these different systems, and with my Wii in particular, I only have a couple of games for it. One that I have already played, that I was introduced to back when I was back in college, and I did get a Wii game that I had always heard about, but had never played. Epic Mickey. So I would love to try LPing that. So I think that would be a fun one. And I know that I could like LP a game on Friday nights, but I've already kind of given myself a specific me time on Friday nights with doing a pizza and a movie every Friday. So it's become quite a routine at this point. So I won't be doing any kind of gaming Friday nights, really. So yeah, with Friday nights, that's a hard schedule for me with having my me time. Well, I think I've covered everything that I wanted to talk about, and this turned into more than just a face reveal. It also wound up turning into an update video of sorts. So I hope you all look forward to this implementation of Facecam into my LPs. And please, by all means, tell me what you think. How this looks, and with my test footage, tell me how that looks as well, so I know what to tweak. So I hope you all enjoyed this face reveal / update video. I will see you all in the next episode of Robotics Notes Elite. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night, wherever you may be.